Welcome back to my channel Cloud DevOps Era. In today's video, we are going to learn how to use Terraform to provision AWS resources automatically. So before going further, let's understand what is Terraform and how it is used. Terraform is basically an open source infrastructure as code tool used to automate infrastructure provisioning instead of manually creating resources from the console. Terraform allows us to write configuration files and create everything using a single command. We have lots of benefits to use Terraform, like we can control the version of the infrastructure, we can automate the process of provisioning cloud resources, and we can maintain the consistency and reusability of the code whenever we require. And the best part to use Terraform is it supports multi-cloud like AWS, Azure, GCP, and so on. So before starting with the Terraform, we need to follow some prerequisite steps like we should have AWS account and we have to configure with AWS using AWS CLI if we want to create AWS resources, and we have to install Terraform, and we can move to VS Code editor or something to create Terraform files over there. So let's get started with practical session. So first we are going to install Terraform. So click on install Terraform. Here we can see we have different kinds of environments like Mac OS, Windows, Linux. We are going with Windows AMD 64 version. Completed download. Click on open. So this is the zip folder that we have downloaded just now. Now click on extract all. Click on browse. Select any location path. I am going to select a Terraform folder in my C drive. Click on extract. Now go to CMD. Check the Terraform version over here. Here we can see Terraform was installed, but it is not able to recognize that Terraform. So to complete the Terraform setup, we have to provide the path inside the environment variables. So let's search here environment variables. Click on environment variables. Click on under user variables, we have to click on path. Click on edit. Here we have to add that path in the list. Click on new. Provide the path. Provide that path. Click on OK. Click on OK. And again click on OK. Go to CMD again. Let's open the new tab. Search Terraform-V. Here we can see we have got the Terraform version over here. So we have completed the Terraform installation and setup process. Now coming to the next process, we should have AWS account. This is my AWS account console. This is my account ID. And we have to configure the AWS with the AWS CLI. So these are the Terraform files, and this is the keys that I have generated to log into the AWS EC2 instance. Check the AWS CLI version, we have to provide this command. AWS version. Here we can see I have AWS CLI installed with 2.32.3 version. To configure with AWS account, we have to use this command like AWS configure. Here we have to provide the access key ID, secret access key, and the region. And by providing this information, we can configure to AWS account. I'll show you how to configure this AWS account. IAM. Go to user section. Go to demo user. And if you go to the security credentials section, here we have access keys, and this is the access key that I am using currently. If you want to create access key, click on create access key, and you have to provide the use case as CLI, and you have to click on next, and so that you can get that credentials as well. Using that credentials, you can able to configure the AWS CLI. If you want to check that AWS CLI credentials, you have to provide this command. So this is the command. Using this command, you can check the AWS configuration details. So here you can see that account ID, same account ID. So let's understand some Terraform files. So as I said just earlier, here these are the keys that have generated through git bash using this command. So this is the command that I have used. I'm running sample command as creating test files. Here we can see it has generated test and test.pub files. So using this command only I have generated the keys with the name of AWS-key. So in these files, I'm going to use this AWS key.pub. I'm going to upload this public key to the AWS while creating EC2 instance, and using this private key we are going to connect EC2 instance through our local machine, and we are going to create the security group resources, like we are going to open 22 port for SSH connection and 84 HTTP connection, and these are the inbound and outbound rules. And if we go down, we can see here we are using the default VPC only, and this is the EC2 instance part. It is going to use this AMI ID, and this is the instance type that I want to create, t2.micro, and this is the key name. We are using this AWS key name, and this is the file location of that public key, and this is the tag that we are going to provide to the EC2 instance. So now we have to follow some sequence of commands when we are dealing with the Terraform. Like we have to first perform Terraform init. Now here we can see we have different files as well, like output.tf. This is the output file that is going to get the details of the instance, like public IP and instance ID. And this is the important file, like we are going to use this AWS provider, and this is the version. So this is the output.tf file. Using this file we can fetch the details of the EC2 instance, like public IP and instance ID. So to create cloud resources using Terraform, we have to follow some sequence of commands like Terraform init. It is going to initialize the AWS provider plugin with the version of 6.27.0 as we provided here. If you can see here, we have just got this .terraform folder. We have completed the installation process. Terraform plan. Based on the network speed, it is going to complete the process. Here we can see we got some information related to plan. We got 3 resources to add, 0 resources to change, and here we can see output section going to get the instance ID and public IP we just seen in this file, and see what are the exact resources that it is going to create on AWS cloud. This is the EC2 instance section. This is the AMI ID, and this is the t2.micro instance type, and this is the key name, and this is the region, and these are other details that is related to AWS EC2 instance, and this is the instance name. And if we go down, here we can see the key pair details. This is the key pair section. Here we can see this is the security group section. It is going to create the security groups by opening ports like 22 for SSH connection and 84 HTTP connection. This is the security group name with -server-sg. Once we check the details, we can use this command like Terraform apply. Here you have to provide yes, click on enter. Currently we don't have any instances that is running inside this Mumbai region. By refreshing we can see here one instance that is created and running. So this is the instance name that we have provided inside the Terraform file, and it is up and running, and the status check is in still initializing state. And these are the additional details of that EC2 instance. So now using this public IP we can connect to our EC2 instance. Copy this public IP. We can connect this EC2 instance through any terminal. I'm going to VS Code editor. I'm going to connect my EC2 instance using this command ssh-9 keys AWS key Ubuntu @ public IP, click on enter, provide yes and click on enter. Here we can see we are logged into EC2 instance, and this is the system information. This is system load, memory usage, and etc. Now we can exit from the EC2 instance. Till now we have seen how to initialize Terraform provider and how to create resources on AWS cloud. Now using this command we can destroy AWS resources. Click on enter. Here we have to provide yes. Our instance is going to terminate in few seconds. Here we can see our instance is going to shutting down state. And it is terminated. Now if we go to dashboard, currently we don't have any running instances. So this is how we can create cloud resources using Terraform by reducing the manual effort to creating the cloud resources using the console. Terraform improves the efficiency of maintaining the cloud resources and reusability of the code to create cloud resources within short time. So this is how we can use the infrastructure as code tool Terraform. So going further, we are going to use this Terraform code to provision cloud resources and to do some projects as well. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.